Hi. So this is for the talk about characters in your voice meme. I might have to cut it off abruptly because I have no door at the moment. And, I don't know how long my mom will be downstairs. But, here goes. Okay, the first one is Gimli. I'm a bad fan. I haven't read the Lord of the Rings books in a while. So I don't have that many opinions on him. He's okay. I'm kind of mad at how they treat him in the movies. That's pretty much it. His friendship with Legolas is cool. But, I mean, I don't dislike him or I just don't care about him as much as some characters. Éomer's kind of the same. Again, I haven't read Lord of the Rings for a while, and, I'm sort of like, he's nice, but, yeah, he's not one of the characters where I go, oh, let me tell you my headcanons. It's just been a while, and I don't remember him ever being one that particularly stood out to me, even when I first read the books. Of course, that was a while ago. I should reread. There's Myron. Now, Myron, I always think of him before he went to Melkor, or before he really took control of his life as a bad guy. I don't know. My headcanons tend to shift quite a bit. I want names he uses when. But, when I think about Myron as being like this really soft, sweet, nice person who just one day sort of wakes up to the fact that they just go, I could be scary. I can be angry about things, and it's weirdly liberating because it's just one of those people who, he's just extremely nice, and he tended to back down if he was confronted with something, and then this Melkor's influence, and he just one day goes, I don't have to take this, there's like other things out there that I could do than this one thing. And I see him as, he divides his attention on a lot of things. He does his smithing, he has his werewolves, he does horrible experiments, and architecture, and I just see this as, a product of when he first broke out of Aula's influence, although he never completely got out of Aula's influence, sorry, Myron. And he's just going, I want to try this thing, and this thing, and this thing, and this thing, and I'm going to do all of them at once, because I can do whatever I want. I like the idea of him trying to get Melkor to teach him how to fight, and he's just kind of hopeless at it. So that's Myron. There's Ruby from Supernatural. I have her Wikipedia page here. I'm kind of annoyed that she's a bad guy. Here in development, they say they introduced her to change the perception of demons into more of a gray area. But then, no, she's just evil. That annoys me. So Ruby, I think there's once upon a time a character called Ruby. That's the first thing I thought of. Mystical guns. Pride and 2 other demonic sins. All I can think of is Fullmetal Alchemist. Now I'm picturing her as looking like lust or something. I don't know. She seems like she might be an interesting character. I've never watched Supernatural. My sisters watched some of it. But I don't know. I'm kind of annoyed that they changed people in the end. There's Mathros. Well, I should probably be saying who told me to talk about these. Well, it's a little late for that. But, inbox. Raba Babe asked me to talk about Gimli. Worldflower asked me about Aemir. And Anon asked Ruby and Myron. So, that just brings us to Mathros and Yelp from Hardy and Arter Than You. Mathros. Oh, he's... Yes? No, I'm talking over your video. Thanks. My sister. Mathros, Sorry for the pause. It's just, there are some characters that I like, I think about them all the time. They're just almost constantly in my head. They get mixed up in my weird mind stories a lot easier, and I just think about them a ton, and most of the Summerland characters aren't like that. I really care about them, but they aren't as constantly around. I have to think solidly about them more. Partially because I feel a little insecure because I know there's material out there that I haven't read, and yeah, I just get a little overwhelmed. But anyway, Mathros. So, poor guy. He has not had a good life. Man. He reminds me of a little bit of Itachi from Naruto, and just the totally self-sacrificing older brother trope. And I see him actually, talking about Mathros Fingon, I see him as being pulled between, he really cares about Fingon, and he wants to spend time with him, but, there's both the conflict after he's rescued from Angband, there's the guilt between them, there's his issues, and he feels like he's dragging Fingon down. Also, he feels that whatever he regains from his time in Angband, which left him seriously scarred in every way, he should be concentrating on his brothers, because his brothers have problems, and they're his little brothers, he should be paying all his attention and energy to them, and not to Fingon, because he feels selfish, because Fingon will reciprocate and try to give back to him, and I'm not saying that his brothers don't do that, but it's a lot more on the taking side, and I feel like Mathros feels selfish if he's not the one who's giving everything and he's not getting pretty much anything in return. He has issues. And then there's Tialp, Celebrimbor, Baby. I once read a fic where Tialp talked in Anatar Celebrimbor, and I had to stop reading because I just don't see it working like that. It's funny because, he's the leader of his people and the king and everything, but I always think of him in terms of being very, very, very awkward, very fragile, very young for his age in certain ways. It's not so much that he's weak as that the areas in which he has weaknesses are ones that are very, very exploitable for Anatar. I often think about him just in terms of his relationship to Anatar, because they're one of the most interesting pairings in the film for me. And don't see him as having a lot of sex before Anatar came along. All the Feanorians have issues. All of them. So many issues. Problem is where to start. I gotta think of one more thing to say about Teal'c. I actually headcanon that I remember Juliana actually did a strip with this once, where Anatar's leading towards the One Ring, and Teal'c's kind of in the corner, and she had that he'd already forged the 3 rings, and that's sort of my thought on it, that, he and Anatar had been working on this ring technology sort of together, and Teal'c wanted to, it was kind of a gift thing, kind of a gesture of independence. He wanted to show he could make something on his own using the stuff they thought out. So he was forging the 3 rings in secret at pretty much the same time Anatar was forging the 1 ring in secret, and yeah, that's my headcanon. And my voice is wearing a little thin, so I'll end the first video here, and I'll see if I can do the next one in a little bit.